Archangel Michael says, there are moments in life when the ordinary is pierced by the extraordinary, when something beyond this world reaches down and rearranges the course of events with precision. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are in such a moment right now. A woman, moved by a force she can't fully explain, was given a sacred assignment. In a quiet room dimly lit by candlelight, she sat with a worn leather-bound book, ancient in energy, soft with time. She opened it with trembling hands and found inside a scroll. On it, 10 names. She didn't know where the names came from. They weren't written in her handwriting. They had appeared one by one, etched as if by invisible ink responding to divine light. Your name was the final one to appear. And it glowed differently. At first, she resisted it. She didn't recognize you, and another name had been on that line originally, someone who, in the spiritual realm, was meant to receive a breakthrough, but had turned their back on grace. That person rejected the call. They refused the divine nudge to shift, to awaken, to act in love. And so, their place was revoked. That's when your name was summoned. This isn't random. You were not supposed to be on that list at first, but heaven saw your heart. You have endured, even when weary. You have stayed soft, even through betrayal. You kept your spirit open when others would have shut theirs tight. And so, a divine override was initiated. Heaven whispered to the woman, this one is ready. Type Amen to get. And she obeyed. Type Amen 3894 to get blessings. Archangel Michael says, this list is not physical alone, it exists in both realms. It represents a divine strategy unfolding across the earth. Every person on that list is being activated in a new assignment, a new authority, a new alignment. And for you, this activation will change everything. From the moment your name was written, a shift occurred in the spiritual realm. You may have already started to feel it, uneasy dreams, the sense that something is off or different, heightened intuition, strange coincidences. These are not accidents. They are spiritual tremors echoing from the moment your name entered the scroll. Here's the twist. The woman who selected you doesn't fully understand what she's triggered. She thinks she's helping someone find purpose, offering a gentle invitation. But the truth is far deeper. She's unknowingly pulled a divine thread that's tied to your destiny, your legacy, and even your bloodline. You are about to step into something that generations before you could only dream of. But you must stay alert. The selection is not the end, it's only the beginning. There will be signs, dreams, and choices. And each one will ask you, do you believe you were truly chosen? Because once the name is written, nothing remains the same. Archangel Michael speaks clearly now. There is a woman who holds something that belongs to you, but she does not fully understand what she carries. She believes she is delivering a message, a suggestion, or an opportunity, something that seems ordinary, even polite. But what she's actually holding is a divine key, encoded with energy, insight, and spiritual permission that was ordained before you were even born. Type Amen 284 to get blessings. This woman has been selected by the heavens to act as what some ancient mystics call a divine carrier. She's not a prophet. She's not a saint. She's not even entirely aware of her role. But when your name appeared on that list, her spirit was ignited, drawn to your energy like a moth to fire. She felt compelled, urged, almost pushed to make contact, or to bring something your way. And she will, though perhaps not in the way you expect. Archangel Michael says. She might reach out with an offer, a favor, a request for help, or even an apology. She might give you something that seems unrelated, a gift, an introduction, or an invitation. But what she delivers carries weight far beyond the surface. You see, Archangel Michael reveals that her words are not entirely her own. Something else is moving through her, a divine intelligence, an unseen force. It is speaking between the lines, embedded in the silence, wrapped within the ordinary. And if you're not spiritually awake, you might miss it. But you won't miss it. Because you've been sensing it already, that something is coming, something mysterious and alive, swirling just beyond your reach. The woman feels it too. That's why she's nervous. She may seem confident on the outside, but inside, she knows she's holding something sacred. Perhaps she's dreamt of you. Perhaps she felt chills when she saw your name. Perhaps she's wrestled with fear, wondering what will happen if she delivers this message, and what might happen if she doesn't. And here's the deeper twist. She is being spiritually opposed. There are unseen forces that do not want her to reach you. Dark energies, generational blocks, and whispers of doubt are trying to stop her. That's why there may be delays. Or confusion. Or second-guessing. Type Amen 290 to get blessings. Because this isn't just about a woman giving you a message. It's about a spiritual unlocking, something ancient, powerful, and transformative. Archangel Michael says this. You must receive not only what she says, but what heaven has encoded within it. Listen with your spirit. Look beyond appearances. Something greater is at work. Because what this woman is about to do will not just deliver information. It will shift the axis of your life. At first glance, the woman who selected your name may appear to be acting out of pure intention, kindness, generosity, even divine inspiration. But Archangel Michael urges you to take a deeper look. There is more to her motives than meets the eye. Type Amen 293 to get blessings. She does not seek to harm you, let that be clear. But her kindness is layered. Complicated. Entangled with emotions and decisions she has yet to fully heal from. She may not even realize how much of her past is playing into her current actions. Somewhere deep within, she is wrestling with her own redemption. Archangel Michael says. Long ago, she stood at a crossroads. She was offered a divine opportunity, an invitation to step into a greater calling. But she turned it down. Fear, confusion, or a sense of unworthiness held her back. That moment has haunted her ever since. Now, the path she rejected is rising again, but not for her. For you. Her selection of your name is not only spiritual obedience, it's part of her second chance. Heaven, in its great mercy, is allowing her to participate in something holy by helping guide you into your breakthrough. But with that comes a danger. Because when the soul seeks redemption through another, the line between divine duty and personal need can blur. She may begin to expect something from you. Gratitude, attention, loyalty. Or even influence in your decisions. And this is where you must be careful. Archangel Michael warns, be open to the message, but guarded with your trust. Receive what heaven has encoded, but do not surrender your discernment. Just because someone is sent to help you doesn't mean they are free of their own agenda. The woman may also fear what your rise means for her. As she sees the spiritual doors begin to open for you, doors that once were offered to her, jealousy may stir. She may not understand it, and she may not show it, but envy can hide behind smiles. And what begins as guidance could shift into subtle sabotage. But you are not to fear this. You are not to reject her or shut down. Instead, you must rise in awareness. Your spiritual maturity is your shield. Your alignment with divine truth will help you walk this path with power, love, and clarity. Type Amen 2783 to get blessings. Archangel Michael reveals that you and this woman have a spiritual history. This is not your first crossing. In a past life, or perhaps in the unseen realm before birth, you stood where she stands now. Back then, you were the one called to deliver a message, and she was the one who had to listen. This is a sacred reversal. A balancing. A chance for healing on both sides. Honor what she brings, but know who you are. The divine current moving through your life right now is not hers to control. It is yours to command. And the choices you make next will determine whether this kindness becomes a blessing, or a spiritual trap in disguise. Shall I continue with section 4? There are moments in life when something shifts in the spiritual realm long before it shows up in the natural. The moment this woman, guided by intuition, divine impulse, or a whisper in her spirit, spoke your name aloud from the list, something sacred happened. It was not just a choice, it was a spiritual contract initiated in the unseen realms. Archangel Michael speaks. When she said your name, heaven recorded the sound. That utterance triggered alignment, movement, and activation in the realm of purpose. Your path, though already written, has now been lit. The contract is not made with the woman alone, but with heaven itself. And that contract bears your name in bold, wrapped in divine ink and sealed with celestial authority. But what does this contract entail? It is not about wealth alone. Not about status. Not even about protection, although those are included. This contract marks the beginning of a divine initiation, a calling that will awaken parts of you that have lain dormant. Spiritual gifts, intuitive senses, long-lost dreams, all of them are now beginning to stir within you like embers catching flame. Type Amen 349 to get blessings. You may begin to notice unusual dreams that feel more vivid and symbolic. Repetitive numbers like 111, 444, or 777 appearing around you. Encounters with people who suddenly speak truth into your situation, without even knowing why. A strong inner nudge guiding you away from old environments or toward new, sacred spaces. These are confirmations of the contract. And it goes even deeper. Archangel Michael reveals that this contract is tied to your bloodline. Long ago, possibly generations past, someone in your family made a sacred vow. A promise to serve, to heal, to protect, or to build. But something interrupted that legacy. Betrayal, confusion, spiritual attack, or worldly distraction caused the contract to go unfulfilled. Until now. Archangel Michael says. By speaking your name, the woman unknowingly reactivated the original vow. Heaven has chosen you as the one who will fulfill what was left incomplete. And with this assignment comes the restoration of something stolen, a blocked inheritance, hidden wisdom, or a destiny that was delayed but never denied. Here's the mystical twist. You've encountered this woman before. Not necessarily in this life, but perhaps in a past spiritual season, a dream encounter, or a soul contract made before birth. In that time, the roles were reversed. Then, you were the messenger, and she the receiver. But she didn't say yes. Now, by divine reversal, you are being given the opportunity to say yes in her place. And the moment you do, something ancient, noble, and divine will be completed. Don't take this lightly. This is not a coincidence, it is a sacred intersection of destinies. And though this woman may disappear from your life as quickly as she entered it, the contract she initiated will remain, and will guide you into the next chapter of your unfolding divine mission. Let your heart say yes. Heaven is listening. Type Amen 9338 to get blessings. Time in the spiritual realm does not move as it does on earth. Heaven measures moments not by minutes or hours, but by readiness, obedience, and alignment. And right now, Archangel Michael warns, a doorway is opening for you, but it will not stay open forever. This divine window is brief, rare, and divinely appointed. It is designed for you and you alone. And it was set into motion the very moment that woman selected your name from the sacred list of 10. Since then, spiritual clocks have started ticking. Events are aligning, even if you don't see it all clearly yet. This opening may not look dramatic at first. In fact, it may come in the form of something deceptively simple. A dream you can't shake. An invitation to travel, speak, relocate, or reconnect. A chance encounter that leaves you with a choice. But understand this, the moment will feel risky. It won't come wrapped in comfort or certainty. It will require you to trust, to step forward, to say yes to what your spirit already knows before your mind catches up. That's the test, and the key to unlock this door is your courage. Archangel Michael says, the enemy will try to cloud your mind with fear, confusion, or delay. Do not yield to hesitation. You were born for such a time as this. This woman's assignment is not permanent. Once she fulfills her role, she will fade from your story like a sacred messenger in the mist. She may never know the full impact of what she triggered in your life. But you will. That's why the moment must be seized. Archangel Michael says, this opportunity could realign more than your present. It could impact your finances, your purpose, even your future family lineage. Generational blessings often pass through tiny doors of obedience, and if you hesitate too long, that door could close for another season. Type Amen 394 to get blessings. But there's more. There's a second force at play. Someone else saw the moment your name was chosen. Someone who was not pleased. This person, a friend, coworker, relative, or spiritual rival, had hoped to be chosen themselves. They've watched your life in secret, silently measuring your progress, envying what you carry. They were on the original list. But due to spiritual misalignment, disobedience, or unresolved envy, they were removed at the last moment. And you were placed in their stead. Now they are moving in the shadows, trying to create doubt, interference, or delay. They may try to copy your next move. They may present a false opportunity to pull you away from the real one. They may even try to discredit the woman who was sent to help you. Do not let this distract you. You must tune your spiritual ears to the sound of heaven's voice, not the noise of the crowd. You will feel a click inside when you're on the right path, a peace that surpasses logic. Let this be your confirmation. If your heart beats with both fear and fire at the same time, that's the door. Walk through it. Heaven will handle the rest. Not everyone is happy about the light rising in your life. As soon as your name was chosen, when the woman selected it from the sacred list, a spiritual ripple went out. Those in higher realms took notice, and so did those bound to lower ones. Archangel Michael now unveils a troubling reality. Someone is actively trying to intercept the divine message meant for you. Type Amen 3284 to get blessings. Who is this person? It could be someone you know. Perhaps they smile in your presence or pretend to celebrate you, but deep within, they carry bitterness, envy, or a sense of injustice. Maybe they believe they should have been chosen. Maybe they were, until their own actions disqualified them. Yes, Archangel Michael confirms, they were originally on the list. But due to jealousy, spiritual laziness, or manipulation, their name was quietly removed, and yours placed in their stead. And now, they know. Archangel Michael says, this person has become a spiritual saboteur, working not always with malicious intent, but with confused and corrupted energy. They've either felt the shift or heard whispers of what's coming to you. And now, they're trying to misdirect you, subtly but persistently. Their methods are clever. They might introduce you to a false opportunity that looks just as promising as the real one, but lacks the divine breath behind it. They might suggest logical delays or distractions at just the moment you need to move forward in faith. They may try to plant seeds of doubt about the woman who was chosen to reach you, calling her misguided, dramatic, or untrustworthy. Or worse, they may mimic the message itself, pretending to carry a similar revelation, trying to blur your spiritual vision. This is no accident. It's a trap, and Archangel Michael is sounding the alarm. Here is your warning and your wisdom: 2 invitations are coming. They may appear in quick succession. Both will seem meaningful. But only one is ordained. The other is a counterfeit, a spiritual decoy, designed to pull you off track before you realize the magnitude of what you're stepping into. Type Amen 293 to get blessings. This is where discernment becomes your shield. You will feel the difference, if you're quiet enough to listen. One invitation will stir your spirit. It may scare you, but it will also awaken a holy fire. The other will seem easier, more polished, more comfortable, but it will feel empty inside, as if the voice of heaven is missing. Clarity is your weapon now. Spend time in stillness. Ask heaven to highlight what is real and reveal what is false. Ask Archangel Michael to clear the fog and silence the noise. The interference is loud, but your inner knowing is louder. And remember this: the person trying to confuse you doesn't realize that their interference is pushing you closer to alignment, not further. What they meant for distraction, heaven is turning into confirmation. They're not your enemy, they're your warning signal. Stand firm. Walk wisely. The path is narrowing, and the gate to your breakthrough is just ahead. Type Amen 0982 to get blessings. The moment you stepped into this spiritual crossroads, when your name replaced another on the sacred list, you unknowingly entered a realm of heightened visibility. And now, you are being watched. But not just by the woman who chose your name. Not only by the person who envies your calling. There are eyes upon you from above, and from below. Archangel Michael says, your name is echoing in the spiritual realm. What you do next will either activate divine momentum, or delay what heaven is ready to pour out. Let that sink in. You are not invisible. Angels have been assigned to your journey. Heavenly scrolls have been opened with your name inscribed. You are being monitored for readiness, obedience, and alignment. This isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. Because with this level of visibility comes a level of divine favor that cannot be earned, it must be accepted. This kind of spiritual surveillance is a sign of importance. You are not small in the eyes of the divine. Your choices are rippling outward. That's why the spiritual warfare has increased. That's why the confusion and interference have intensified. Because what's about to be unlocked through you is not just for you, it's generational. But make no mistake. It's not only heaven watching. There are hidden eyes, both spiritual and human, who are hoping you'll miss your moment. Someone is scanning your online presence, silently watching your growth, success, and awakening. Someone may be eavesdropping, mimicking, or tracking the woman sent to guide you. In the spiritual realm, dark forces that once had a grip on your lineage are watching for an opening to reclaim lost ground. Archangel Michael is clearing the air around you, but you must participate in your protection. This is the time to type Amen 987 to get blessings. Guard your energy. Limit what you share too freely. Stay spiritually covered in prayer, wisdom, and discernment. You'll begin to notice a strange sense of being observed, as if someone knows more about you than they should. That feeling is not paranoia. It is intuition awakened. Honor it. Your spiritual senses are growing sharper because they need to be. And what of the woman? She, too, is watching. Perhaps from a distance. Perhaps in prayer. Perhaps from a hidden place of regret or courage. But her eyes are still on you, because she knows something she hasn't yet revealed. Archangel Michael whispers this revelation. She saw something in her vision, something about your past, your pain, or your future, that terrified her. She hesitated to tell you, not out of deception, but out of fear that you weren't ready to hear it. But the truth is, she fought for your name. There were others urging her to choose differently, but she felt your name resonate like thunder in her soul. And she obeyed. What she hasn't told you yet could explain everything. And when you hear it, you will realize. This wasn't about being chosen. It was about remembering who you were all along. Type Amen 283 to get blessings. This was never just about a woman with a list. This wasn't about luck. This wasn't about chance. This was about identity. Destiny. Legacy. From the beginning, long before your name was spoken aloud in that candlelit room, you were marked by heaven. There was something in your spirit, a frequency, a light, a divine echo, that aligned perfectly with a task heaven had delayed for such a time as this. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity. You were chosen not because you were the strongest, but because you were the most willing to rise after falling. You are not the loudest, but you have learned to hear the voice of the Spirit in the silence. You are not the most obvious, yet in secret, you've been becoming. Archangel Michael says. And now, the becoming must end. Because it is time to step forward as the one who is ready. The reason your name appeared on that list, after someone else was removed, is not because heaven is careless. It's because you are part of a divine chain of recovery. What was lost in your family line, what was forfeited by someone before you, what was buried by trauma, betrayal, or fear, is now being placed into your hands. Type Amen 1983 to get blessings. And what a sacred weight it is. This is your spiritual inheritance. Not just money or fame or influence. Those things may come, but this is deeper. This is about your divine mission. A calling that touches every aspect of your life, your relationships, your voice, your healing, your service to others. And yes, it will bless you, but only so that you can bless others. Archangel Michael reveals something astonishing. The woman who chose your name was carrying a sealed letter, either literal or symbolic. And that letter has your name on the front. But inside it is the name of someone else. Someone you are called to help next. Because this isn't just about receiving a message. It's about becoming a messenger. You are now being asked to do for another what was done for you. Type Amen 2939 to get blessings. There will come a moment, soon, When someone will cross your path and something inside you will stir. You'll feel what that woman felt when she saw your name glowing. You'll recognize their pain, their calling, their hidden fire. And you'll be given a choice. Do you speak their name aloud? Do you pass on the flame? Do you become the one who sends the next key? Archangel Michael says, you are truly chosen because you are both the recipient and the carrier of light. The letter is yours. But it doesn't end with you. Your yes now becomes the beginning of someone else's deliverance. This is your final awakening. You were never just on the list. You are the list. You are the letter. You are the message. And now, the world is waiting for your voice. Type Amen 2839 to get blessings.